Hello, everyone, and my name is Lorenzo Marincic. I'm here joined by my friend Hassan Jama, better known as Jama Stana on Instagram, and we are here to do a quick top 5 wrap up for the California Pro Show. I hope that's the name of the show, by the way.
Yeah, it's the name of the show.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think it's a
Good.
pro.
Yeah.
It's a pro amateur show. So they have the state show and then they have the pro show. That's a pretty
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
show.
Because I usually like with these shows, like we call them like Cali Pro or this or that or Spain show or Florida show, and then it turns out the name is like completely different. So I don't even know what it's gonna do. And today we have bodybuilding to cover. Basically, we don't have anything else other than bodybuilding. So that's always a good thing, having a bodybuilding centric show. I wish there was 212 also, but I don't mind. I mean, we had a crazy 212 show at the New York Pro, so that was also pretty competitive. But with the top 5 here, we had a few people jumping in from New York Pro. Yeah, like Stuart Sutherland, Beef Stew, and Christian Wolski, and also Tony
Emir.
Burton, and Emir
as well.
and Emir as well.
Yeah.
So and they basically made up the top 4, along with Pablo Lopez, who was an addition, and he was right up there. So let's start right away from top 5. Actually, before that, do you have anyone in mind that was maybe overlooked outside of the top 5? Because it usually happens. So I don't know if you had anyone.
I thought so. Initially, they had Beef Stew out of the top 5, which was surprising, but it looked like he was able to catch up, which is good. And then I didn't get a good look at Tim. Tim was still in the show, right? Tim came from the New York Pro, Tim Budishek.
Yeah.
So again, I think I need to review the video a little bit more in depth. So I'm not sure what happened to him.
Yeah, I don't know either. I wasn't able to see like anything of quality so that I can, look over.
Yeah, there was no live stream. The videos that people were posting were pretty shitty, like sideways. You had to like turn your head to see.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then,
exactly.
So all I'm going by is basically the pictures and the comparisons from kind of like phone videos.
Exactly, yeah. So with that in mind, let's start with 5th place, and that's Pablo Lopez. So
Pablo.
yeah.
You want
Tell
to
me
go first,
something
or?
about him.
Yeah. So I like Pablo. I remember him for a couple of years now when he was an amateur turned pro. He put on a lot of muscle. Even last year when he did his, I think that might have been his pro debut. He looked really good. Just needed more size. So here, I think the issue I have is although he got a lot bigger, he wasn't as crisp. So not a lot of definition in terms of striations, and particularly in the back. Like if you look at his hamstrings, needs more line, and then the back width also needs to improve. But overall, I think they like him because he's got the 3D look, big huge delts, got the flaring quads. So I think 5th place for him was the perfect spot. I agree with it.
Yeah, it was a little bit strange at the beginning when they just had him in the top 4. That was really like, I don't know. I didn't really agree with that, but he does have that look that the judges liked, like that grainy, round, bubbly look. Except the only problem with him is that he's really boxy. Like, yeah, from the front and even from the back, he's like very square. But his side shots are crazy. The way his delt pops, and but yeah, when the problem is for him to place any higher. Yeah, he's from the front, the taper is off, and from the back, his lats are really high. Like they're like, it looks like they only attach to his mid back, and then below it's just spinal erectors.
If you look at it, look at the picture he posted, so I was looking at it right now. That's exactly what you see, right? There's not a lot of width, and then even there's not a lot of depth, which stands out.
Yeah.
And then also, because I think it's new muscle, there's not a lot of like quality to it, you know? But like you said, side's pretty good. Front, he's got a good structure. When he does the lat spread, I like it. And I think he can improve the posing. A lot of the posing looks a little bit off to
Yeah,
me.
it does. Yeah, true. And then from the back, the next problem is below the waist.
Yeah,
I just don't know what's the problem. Like he just doesn't have the striations. Like you can see that he's peeled. Like the guy was in shape, but the striations are just not there. So like you said, I don't know if that's new muscle.
new muscle.
I don't know if maybe he wasn't I don't know, dry enough. I don't know what it was, but yeah.
It
So
it looks like 5% more. Like you see the lines, you see the veins, vascularity is good, but needs to be more strided, more crisp. So I think it's maybe 5 more pounds. I don't know what he weighs, maybe 240 or something. So maybe another 5 pounds. I think he could win a show just with the way he is. And then obviously he still needs to grow.
he could, yeah, but the problem is that the shows are really, really tough. Like if you think about it,
Yeah, yeah,
like Tonio had to do like how many shows to qualify? I know that he did New York last week, he did the Cali this week,
yeah.
and I think he did Brazil as well.
He did Brazil. Yeah, so
So it
I
was
think it's
on
his
third
third
try,
show.
and he was eighth at the Olympia. So like
Yeah,
I don't know, like he has to really like maybe the M Pro Classic coming up, but even that show, from what I see, is pretty stacked. So I don't know, it's not a whole lot of shows, and there's a lot of good
his
bodybuilders. So
bodybuilder.
I don't know. But in fourth place, we have what I would consider a fan favorite, I think, and he's like everyone's. Everybody likes this guy.
Beef
Um,
stew.
yeah,
I like
Beef
him.
Stew, Stuart Sutherland. Yeah, he's so funny. Like, and he's like one of the more normal guys. Like, if you think about it, like he's very engaging with
Yeah,
everyone and stuff. So he's pretty cool like that. But he still needs some growing and some maturing to do as far as his physique goes. Like you can't leapfrog people. Like it's not 1995 anymore. you can't
yeah,
you can't win shows because you were on the cover of Flex magazine. Like that doesn't happen anymore.
I think the couple of things that hurt him here, but the background of the show was terrible. Like a lot
Oh
of the guys
yeah,
didn't stand out, and
yeah,
Beef Stew's color here was his tan was off, like as far as the amount of color, and then he looked kind of washed out from the front. So he
yeah,
doesn't have like those deep abs, right? So that's like a genetic thing. I think a lot of guys don't have that, and then from the quad, um, more separation needed. Like he's got the frame. Like I think people don't underestimate how big he is. Like he's probably like he's probably like 245, 250. Like he's a big structural guy, and
yeah,
he's in condition because you see the lines from the side, you see the lines from the glutes and hand, but he needs more of that like depth, to the physique, more
yeah.
density. Um, I also remember like he gained like I think he started a couple of years ago, right? So he's fairly new. I think he was 220 when he did like the Emerald Cup. So imagine that's like only a couple of years ago. 220. Now he's probably gained like 30 pounds. So
I don't know what he turned pro in 2021, but I don't remember what was the weight. I don't know if he was a heavyweight or a
he
super.
was a super. He
He
was a
was a
super when he
super.
won the. Yeah, I don't know if it was the Nationals or the USA's, but he was a super.
The
Yeah,
USA's, yeah, and then he jumped into
yeah,
Tampa and he was like seven there. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, the problem, the way I see it, like I don't know if maybe they over dieted him because like you can see that he was really, really crisp, like from the back, like
yeah.
he was one of the
Glute
most
hams.
conditioned guys in the show. But from the front, he was just like he was really, really, really. He looked flat to me, like just flat.
Flat. Yeah,
Like if he was a little bit fuller, it would have jumped out more, like the separations and everything that we talked about. Because there were those shots from like his coach's garage a few weeks ago,
yeah,
and he was like full, like you could see that he was full, and
yeah.
he looked completely different. So I don't know, maybe if they're like focused a little bit too hard on on bringing him dry, he doesn't
He
he
looks good
doesn't
in.
get, like you said, it's young muscle, just like with Pablo. So if you try
Yeah,
to
yeah.
So if you try to dry him out completely, he's just gonna deflate. So maybe maybe if he gets that, like, you know, that post rebound physique when you're like 2 weeks after the show, maybe that's what he needs, you know, to really pop. Because you can even see like his inner thigh is missing a little bit.
There's a few areas. Adductor, there's this area, right? So the shelf, you know, delt, shoulders from the front. From the side, he looks good. And then when he does the power shots and he's crunching, all the details show. But it's when he opens up, you know, he kind of looks empty. So,
you can see
but
it
he's got the frame.
Double. Yeah, you can see it in
front
double as well. Yeah,
front double, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but again, he did a good job coming back into the top 4. So I think that was good. I'm glad they gave him the look.
And it just goes to show how tough of a show it was when a guy like that looks like that was like fourth. Like, let's be real, like 3 or 4 years ago, he would probably win a show convincingly because people just didn't look like this. You know? So
this is a top. The top 5 was really good. I think there's 30-something guys in the show. So it wasn't a small show. So when I look at the scorecard, there's a lot of guys in the show.
I mean,
but
it was a decent.
Do you think he looked better?
What?
Do you think he looked better than New York or worse? I think he looked worse.
I think he looked the same.
Worse. Okay, maybe
he looked
maybe the lighting.
The same. I think it's maybe he was even a touch drier than New York.
He was dry. Yeah.
So, and the lighting was different, and like you said, his color is always a problem. You know, even if he was an amateur pro, I don't know what he has to do. I know that he tried to prep with MT2. I think he was really dark going into the show, and it still came out not that great. You know, some people even say that he might be on Dream Tan.
Some people need like a whole week of slowly tanning, putting the tan, washing off, and then
that's what I do.
Because he's got
usually
he kind of looks yellowish or greenish, you know, like it's not red or
didn't stick,
not bronzy. It doesn't stick yet. So they need to fix that.
With the top 3 though,
top 3 was sick. Top 3 was very good.
Yeah. Third was Christian Wolski from Poland, finally coming into his own. Like I saw the guy like from, I don't know when he turned pro, in 2019 or 2020, and it was really like slowly progressing, you know, and I could see him, like he made top 6 here and there in a weaker show, you know, but he's really now coming into his own. Like he linked out.
But you remember what I tell you about him? Like his legs were crazy. Remember? I'm like, fuck, this guy's crazy quad.
Legs and
now
back.
He balanced it more. Now he balanced more.
Back was crazy. Legs and back, when he would turn around, it was like lights out, you know. But from the front and side, like the delts, the arms, the pecs, just weren't there yet.
They weren't there. Yeah.
But he really, I don't know. He linked up with Mauro Sassi. He's a controversial coach. Like some people like him, some don't. But at the end of the day, he did produce quite a bit of, you know, decent bodybuilders, you know, between Petar Klančir, you know, and others, and Andrea Presti, and, you know,
Presti, the Italian.
Yeah.
He's got the 212 guy who's really good. The
Zaga, Zagarella.
Zaga,
yeah, he looks crazy. So, you know, it can be done. Like if you link up well with your coach, and, you know, the methods match the body, it can work out pretty well, as we can tell with Christian. I think he flattened out a little bit during the prejudging, because I've seen like the pictures from the beginning when they first came out. He's like, you know, having a lot of pop, and you know, he looked really big. And then as I saw like videos, you know, going forward, he kind of deflated during the prejudging. I think he fixed it for the finals again, but he was a little bit deflated by the end of that prejudging. But still, you know, I think third place was good for him.
Yeah, he's making good progress. Like he's one of those guys where like there's nothing crazy about him, but everything just looks nice. You know, there's no like major standout, which is good, because before it was all you see is quads. But now I think he did a good job balancing the upper body. But this guy, in the next year or two, he'll be like winning shows, I think.
I hope so.
He'll be winning shows for sure. Yeah.
I hope this isn't like the ceiling for him. Do you
Yeah,
think he could have done something to maybe place even better here? Like maybe beat, because he did beat Emir in New York.
Amir.
So
Yeah. Amir is a tricky guy to judge, right? Because like he's so peeled out of his mind that you gotta reward it, right? Like he's fucking the most shredded guy. Particularly the back glutes were just nuts. Structurally, you know, he's got a lot of flaws, but I think he was better. Like I would give him the two spot. I think two is perfect situation for him. If Wolski was more conditioned, he could have beat him Emir easily. So Wolski, like for a smaller show, he just needs to come in like 5%, 8% crisper because he's more balanced. There's not a lot, there's no major weaknesses.
yeah,
Where whereas the mirror, like arms, quad sweep, there's a lot of flaws, but he's peeled.
yeah. I think if Christian like picks the right show, he could definitely win a show. Like
Yeah,
it's in the cards for him. So I don't know if he has plans to continue competing. I hope so. Hope we're gonna see him again, and
yeah.
it's gonna be good. Yeah. With the second place, Emir, like we always like to hear from others, Sito is clueless. He doesn't know the science. He what else? Yeah, too many diuretics.
Too
What
many,
else?
yeah.
Yeah, all those great. Yeah, he doesn't know the drugs. He doesn't know this. He doesn't know that. But turns out,
No,
every one of his guys nail it at
nail it. Yeah,
the end of the day. I mean, easily the most conditioned guy in the
by
show. Like
far.
the conditioning was insane. And it's crazy because he's one of the youngest guys as well.
Yeah, he's like 23, right? I think he was 22
No,
last
no, no.
year.
I think he's 99,
Okay.
1999. So he's like 24 or 25, I think, which
When
is
when I
crazy.
when I hear when I hear 90s now, even I feel like I'm a fucking grandpa because
I know. But
99. Like
dude,
I was in
I'm
high
90,
school,
I'm 95, and now you have guys coming up that are like,
2000, yeah.
yeah, 18, 19
Yeah.
years old, like 2005, 2006. Like it's crazy, like they
Yeah,
were
it's crazy.
like Jay won
It's
his first
crazy.
Olympia in 2006. I almost remember that.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It's nuts.
insane.
But
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
do you think though? I think the problem with the mirror, the flaws, I don't think they're fixable. Like you're not gonna get better arms. It's just not gonna happen. It's a genetic thing. It doesn't even matter how much oil you did or whatever you tried. Like that's
no,
something
it's
you're
just
you're
gonna look
stuck with.
worse. Yeah,
Yeah. So like I think he's kind of fucked in some areas because of the arms. Quad sweep too. Like they're not. You either got quad sweep or you don't. Like some guys just have that round muscle. He's gonna be one of those guys that kind of has the kind of like a stringy look, but he's gonna be in condition. So I'm not sure how much better you can get. His arms are like Uric. Like they're not gonna get better. Like
I don't know, but the problem that Urs has is weight cap.
weight
He
cap.
doesn't have that
Yeah,
problem. So I think that
yeah,
he definitely has room to, like, his structure is huge, and I
yeah. He's a big
believe
guy,
he
by the
has,
way.
yeah, yeah, tall guy. He does have room to grow. So I think he can put on a lot more muscle, but I think he competes too often. I think he competes every year. I'm not
Yeah.
sure, but I'm actually pretty sure that he competed last year as well. So maybe if he takes a year off, and I've seen something where people suggest that he should change his training a little bit because he has that like old school style of just slinging the weights, high reps, high volume. Maybe if
Is he like a
he,
Roman guy? He's
yeah,
German, right? This guy.
similar,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
So maybe if he just takes a year off and fixes his training up a little bit, he could maybe explode. Maybe it could be one of those guys that puts on like 20 pounds in 2 years. So it doesn't. As far as
It
him winning this show, he just doesn't have enough muscle. So I think the second is as high as he could have possibly been. You know.
Yeah, and losing to Antonio is not a bad thing. Right?
No, no,
He's
no.
been
Like
he's been
eight at the Olympia. So
yeah.
it's not like it's not like he lost to I don't know who, you know. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure he would have wanted to win, but everybody wants to win, you know. So, but with Tonio, I think it was more of the same. I think we can really call him Mr. Consistency because I think he looked the same basically as he did in New York and very similar to what
Agreed.
he looked like in Brazil.
In Brazil, no, I agree. I think Tonio obviously made a lot of progress over the years. I don't know if you know, I met Tonio in 2018. I was at the Vancouver Crow with Ian, and Ian was competing. I think
Yeah,
that's the year Hattie won. This guy was doing the amateur, and I could see his abs from like
really.
fucking 10,000 feet away. I'm like, this guy, he had like a 10 pack, and
Yeah, yeah.
then you could tell, like, I think he was natural. You could tell he had like just a nice body, you know. And
Mm.
then like 2 years later, he won the USA, and then but he was peeled at that light as a light heavyweight, and then he kept just growing. Here, I think, like you said, he's complete, like front to back, not a lot of weaknesses, but still needs more size, and I could see him more sharper. I've seen him more sharper. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah,
Particularly in the hams and glutes, I've seen him more, and that's something he's known for. So I think if he came in even more crisp, he would do better at a harder show.
I don't know if
This
they
show
did
was
maybe. I don't know if they did maybe like cruise control, you know, where he
yeah,
got
yeah,
in
maybe
shape, and maybe they didn't try to like peak every
yeah,
damn time, so you know, so he doesn't burn out by the end of the year because they still have the Olympia to do. You know, he already did
yeah.
three shows now and a lot of
I,
traveling.
I like his back double crazy. The side leg, the improved a lot. His side hamstrings and glute, the tie in, that was something he didn't have last year. Obviously, the back structure, the arms, beautiful looking. It's one of my favorite back doubles. But like you said, maybe uh, uh, grow a little bit into the Olympia, come in even harder. I think it's doable to be in the top 10.
With him, the first problem that he has is like as amazing as his structure is, it's also a little bit problematic because he's a shorter guy and
Yeah,
he's a little bit
yeah,
narrow across the shoulders. Like
yes,
his quads are like flaring and huge, you know,
yeah.
and he has the small waist. They compare him a lot to Dexter, and it's a very
Dexter, yeah.
similar physique.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that you know, just like Dexter, you know, he still has muscle to put on in that upper body, you know, and until he does that, he's gonna have a problem with just with bigger guys. We saw it in New York, and we saw it in Brazil. Like he was much
Even like,
harder. He was
go
much
ahead in
harder
Brazil.
than Brandao, much
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
harder.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
he just couldn't beat
But
him because you know you
the
can't beat
structure,
someone. Yeah, on structure because he was taller, wider, uh, just as complete. You know, but
yeah,
just bigger. You know, so you
bigger,
can't
yeah.
beat that guy. Then again, last week he was third, I think, in New York.
Third,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was third behind again Nick and Martin. Both of those
Martin, yeah.
guys outsized him like severely.
Outside it.
So you know he came into this show obviously as a favorite, and he won, which was obvious it's going to happen. And so yeah, what you know going into the Olympia, he can't grow, he can't put on 20 pounds.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna make
I, I,
that huge of a
I think it's,
difference.
I think, yeah, you're right. He's kind of stuck with, beside tall, big guys that also have good shape, you're going to get lost. Like, like any bigger guy that's going to flow as well, it's going to make him look, even in this mix, like I'm watching right now, the reason why I'm turning here,
Yeah,
he's got a better shape than them, so he's beating them. But
yeah,
and he's more conditioned than most of them. But if he comes to the Olympia, like a guy like Martin is a tank, and he's full and hard, and he's got good shape, so he
yeah,
can easily beat him, right? Then you have just too many guys in the top 10. This is going to be one of the hardest Olympians.
yeah. We don't like last year. A lot of guys dropped out.
Yes,
You know, during the coming in into the show, but so you never know. but Tonio is the type of guy that can take scalps, basically. Like, you know that he's gonna,
Yes.
this is gonna be the worst he's gonna be, the way he looked yesterday. The
Yeah.
worst he's gonna
No.
be. And but other guys can fluctuate a lot more, so he can, like if somebody misses, he's gonna take that
He'll beat
spot.
him. 100%.
So he can be as high as 7-8 again, or if it's a lights out Olympia, he can be like outside of the top 10. So it really
Outside of the
depends.
top 10.
It doesn't just depend on him. Like he can do his homework, but
Yeah.
it's not a shoe-in for him, to be in the top 10. Like he's not that perennial type of guy, kind of like, I don't know, like a Hunter, or these guys that are gonna be top 10 regardless, whether they're 20% off or on. So
Yeah, like when I count the top 10, like it's gonna be fucking hard. Okay, top 5, like those guys are set pretty much. And then, depending on Ramy, if Brandon's still gonna be in the mix regardless, 5, 6. You got Hunter, you got Nathan. I don't know if he can come to the Olympia, but Nathan looks really good. And then you have like Brandon, Raf, I think can beat this guy again. I don't think he'll have an issue beating him, right?
yeah,
It's going to be
especially
harder and bigger.
If he comes in harder than
Exactly.
the Brazil show, he's gonna be tough to beat. Yeah, he could be like as high as top 6.
Top 6, yeah, I agree. And then you still got Martin and all these other guys that are making this year's top 10 is going to be that's an accomplishment, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be an accomplishment.
If you do it, it's going to be.
We have a lot more shows coming up, though, into the Olympia.
Yeah, what do you think of the next one? The next one is Toronto. So what do you think about Toronto?
Oh, Toronto is already next. I thought it was the Empro in Spain, but if it's Toronto already,
it might be, because I know Toronto's early June. There might be the Empro sooner. I don't know, but Toronto, then there's Vancouver. So there's still those two shows.
Yeah. So there's a lot of with Toronto. I mean, I didn't see, like, I don't know who else is competing other than Quint. I don't know if any of these guys are gonna jump into the show. Like,
if I was Stu, I would do it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like just keep competing. You're in shape. It shouldn't be that big of a problem for him.
Hey, is that point shit gone now or what?
Yeah, it's over. It's over. Like,
okay,
you win and you're in, or you're out. Okay. Like it's over.
I prefer that.
To win.
I prefer that. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe Amir, and I mean, if Amir's already in the US, you might as well just fly up to Canada.
Fly out to Canada. Yeah, it would be a smart idea. So I mean, it's gonna shape up to be a good show. Like, it all depends on whether Quint can turn it around or not. So if he can fix the mistakes from New York. Yeah. So, well, guys, that's a wrap. See you at the after the next show. Hopefully it's Toronto. We'll see. And
I hope nobody gets. I mean, you as well. We've competed a lot, so there's disrespect meant, right? It's we're saying things in
whatever we said, it shouldn't be like, it was all constructive, so we didn't hate on anyone.
100%. Yeah.
So, like,
and here's what I say too, because like it drives me crazy. Like, a lot of these websites that are like media sites or whatever they are, like Who is Bodybuilding, I don't know where they're from, Spain or Mexico or Brazil. They mean well, but like the comparisons they do, it's fucking annoying, man, because they have no idea. Like, just peaking itself, show after show, it's difficult. And if you've never fucking competed and you have no idea what all the shit that goes into it, then you really can't just take a picture of this and then take a picture of this and say, oh, look what happened. There's like 100 variables. The fucking lighting.
Yeah, they also Photoshop stuff and pick and choose.
Yeah.
Like, and then they try to create drama.
Drama, yeah. Like,
we didn't try that, so yeah.
Let the competitors compete. Let them come on stage, and then, obviously, we can see where things gone wrong and we can call it out. But again, no, it's not meant to discredit anybody, because you can do your best and still not show up. Like, things happen, right? So
it happened to all of us, I think. I mean, you're either gonna take the criticism and improve, or
Yeah.
stay the same and plays the same, you know. So
Yeah.
it's your
But these
choice.
pages these pages need to do a better job of highlighting the good things about guys instead of
They don't care.
like,
They don't
yeah.
care.
So they're like, but I don't think they mean it. I think they just don't know any better because they're like new. So in their mind, they're thinking it's like a game or another sport where like, oh, you got the best players, you should win. Well, fuck.
Yeah, no,
Doesn't
no.
matter if you have the best coach. Doesn't matter if you have the best genetics. Anything can go wrong. You could eat something that doesn't sit well, and you can fuck it up. You know,
Exactly.
a show can run late, and then you get flat. Like how many times does that happen?
With that said,
But anyway,
see you guys next time, man. Bye.
I appreciate it, Taylor. Thanks.